She wanted an open marriage, but he didn't say no. Let's get right into this one. Be me, Sarah, 29, marketing coordinator, living what looks like the perfect life from the outside. Married to Mark for 4 years now. He's 32, software engineer, makes $95,000 a year. We've got a nice apartment in a decent neighborhood, $2,400 a month, which he covers most of. I chip in $800 from my $52,000 salary, but honestly, between my student loans and, my shopping habit, that's about all I can manage. Our place is nice. His gaming setup sits in the corner of the living room, this massive monitor and expensive chair setup he saved up for. I've told him 1,000,000 times it looks childish, but he just smiles and ignores me. Meanwhile, my shoe collection takes up half our closet. Must be worth $3,000 at this point. Easy. He's never once complained about it. Mark's stable, reliable, pays the bills on time, never forgets to take out the trash, cooks dinner most nights because I work late. Which I do, technically. Just not always at the office. See, there's this guy at work, Brad. He's 27, sales guy, recently transferred from the Austin office. Confident, funny, the kind of guy who makes every conversation feel like flirting even when it's not. Probably, especially when it's not. We've been working together on this campaign for a new client. Lots of late meetings, strategy sessions, the occasional after-work drink that turns into 3 drinks. Mark knows about Brad. I've mentioned him. Just not how much I think about him, or how often we text. Just work stuff, I tell myself. But when Brad sends me a meme at 11 p.m. and I'm lying in bed next to Mark, I have to turn the screen away so the light doesn't wake him up. It's harmless, I tell myself. I'm allowed to have guy friends. There's also Carlos, my trainer at the gym. He's always complimenting my form, touching my shoulder to adjust my stance. Mark mentioned once that it seemed a bit much. I told him he was being insecure. Carlos is just doing his job. And I still text my ex-boyfriend sometimes, usually when I've had wine, just friendly check-ins. How's life? Remember that bar we used to go to? Nothing serious. Mark found out once, saw a text over my shoulder. We had a whole thing about it. Why are you texting him? Mark asked, his voice careful, trying not to sound controlling. We're friends, I said. I'm allowed to talk to people I used to date. It's called being mature. He dropped it. He always drops it. Hates conflict. I post on Instagram a lot. Selfies, outfit pictures, the occasional thirst trap. Nothing crazy, just enough to remind people I've still got it. The comments are mostly emojis and, from guys I went to college with, Mark doesn't love it, has mentioned that maybe I don't need to post every single day, but I just laugh it off. You're just not an Instagram person, I tell him. You wouldn't get it. The thing is, I love Mark. I do. He's a good guy. Great even. But lately, I've been feeling bored. Like, is this it? Same person, same conversations, same routine for the rest of my life? I scroll through TikTok at night and see girls my age living their hot girl summer. Traveling, dating around, having adventures. And I'm here watching Mark play video games on a Friday night. Last week, we had a company happy hour. Mark came with me, he usually does, even though he hates these things. Too loud, too many people he doesn't know. But he shows up because I ask him to. Brad was there, obviously. I don't know exactly when it happened, but at some point, I ended up at the bar with Brad, and we were laughing about something. His impression of our boss, probably. And I touched his arm. Just a casual touch. Then his tie, adjusting it as a joke because it was crooked. I felt Mark's eyes on me from across the room. In the car ride home, he brought it up. You seemed pretty close with Brad tonight. I rolled my eyes. Oh my God, Mark. He's just friendly. You're being paranoid. You were touching him. I adjusted his tie. It was crooked. What? Am I not allowed to talk to my co-workers now? Mark went quiet and stared out the window. I didn't say that. Then what are you saying? Nothing. Forget it. And he did. Just like always. But sitting there in the silence, I felt annoyed. Why does he have to make everything weird? Brad and I are just friends. co-workers. Mark's insecurity isn't my problem. When we got home, I poured myself a glass of wine and scrolled through Instagram. Brad had posted a story from the happy hour, a group shot, me in the frame next to him. I shared it to my story. Mark went to bed early, didn't even say goodnight. I told myself he was just tired. The next day, my best friend Jen came over for coffee. We've known each other since college. She was my roommate sophomore year, and we've stayed close ever since. She's 28, a graphic designer, single, one of those people who's just effortlessly cool without trying. She was sitting at our kitchen table, and I was making us coffee when she brought it up. Hey, last night at the bar with Brad, that seemed a little... I turned around. A little what? She hesitated. Just close. Mark looked uncomfortable. I felt defensive immediately. Mark's insecure. Brad and I are just friends. Sarah, you were literally playing with his tie. So, I'm allowed to have guy friends. Jen set her mug down. I know, but Mark's a really good guy. I just don't want you to... I cut her off. To what? Ruin my perfect marriage? The sarcasm was thick. Jen caught it, looked at me carefully. I didn't say that. I leaned against the counter. Mark's lucky to have me, honestly. If he can't handle me being friendly with people, that's his problem, not mine. Jen didn't respond right away, just looked at me with this expression I couldn't quite read. Concern, maybe? Or disappointment. She let it go, but I could tell she didn't agree. After she left, I saw Mark in the living room, cleaning up from breakfast. He'd made pancakes earlier, left mine on a plate with a note. Went to the gym. Back soon. He does stuff like that. Little thoughtful things. And I appreciate it. I do. I just wish he was more... exciting. Jen lingered in the doorway before leaving, glanced back at Mark, then at me. I caught the look, but I didn't ask what she was thinking. 3 weeks later, I was at brunch with Kayla. Kayla's 31, recently divorced, and honestly, she's living her best life. Always posting about her adventures, solo trips, new guys she's dating. This whole finding herself thing. She's big into feminism, follows a bunch of relationship podcasters who talk about how monogamy is outdated and oppressive. We were at this trendy place downtown, Bottomless Mimosas, and I was venting. I don't know, I just feel stuck. Kayla leaned in. Stuck how? Like, I love Mark. He's great. But is this it? Same person forever? Same routine? I'm 29. I feel like I'm missing out on my life. Kayla nodded like she'd been waiting for this. Babe, it's 2025. Monogamy is literally a patriarchal construct. It was invented to control women's sexuality. I blinked. What do you mean? Think about it. Marriage, fidelity, all of it. It's designed to keep women locked down, dependent, unable to explore. You're allowed to want more. I mean, I could never ask Mark for that. Why not? She sipped her mimosa. You don't owe him your entire life just because you signed a piece of paper. If you want to explore, explore. Ethical non-monogamy is huge right now. I've been doing it for 6 months, and it's been so empowering. She told me about her open relationship, how she's seeing 2 guys casually, how liberating it feels, how she's finally living authentically. I went home that night and couldn't stop thinking about it. I Googled ethical non-monogamy in bed. Mark asleep next to me. Found articles. So many articles. Women are naturally non-monogamous. Science says so. Marriage was designed to control women. Here's why. How open relationships can save your marriage. I screenshotted a few, just in case. Over the next 2 weeks, I couldn't stop thinking about it. About Brad, specifically, about what it would be like to just see where it goes. Without guilt, without sneaking around. What if I could have both? The stability of Mark and the excitement of something new? Brad and I had been texting more, lunch meetings that weren't really about work, late-night conversations about nothing important. You look good today, he texted one afternoon with the smirking emoji. I sent back a winky face. It felt dangerous, exciting. Mark noticed I was distant. Asked if everything was okay. Yeah, just stressed with work. He believed me. He always does. I spent days rehearsing how I'd bring it up. Wrote it out in my notes app on my phone. Bullet points, talking points. Framed it like a TED talk, personal growth, authentic selves, relationship evolution. Finally, on a Friday night, I made his favorite dinner. Chicken parmesan, garlic bread, the whole thing. I even lit candles. Mark noticed immediately. What's the occasion? Can't I just do something nice? He smiled, but I could see the suspicion behind it. I never just do something nice without a reason. After dinner, we sat on the couch with wine. I was 2 glasses in when I finally said it. I've been thinking about our relationship. Mark's body went still. Okay. I just think we owe it to ourselves to grow, as individuals, to explore. He stared at me. Explore what? I pulled out my phone, showed him the articles I'd saved. There's this whole movement around ethical non-monogamy. Couples who open their relationships to, you want to see other people? It wasn't a question. His voice was flat. I want us to be able to see other people, I corrected. It's about honesty, growth, not being trapped by outdated social constructs. Mark set his wine glass down. I don't want that. So you want me to resent you? To feel trapped? Sarah, if you really loved me, you'd want me to be happy. The tears came then, not fully calculated, but not entirely real either. Mark looked at me for a long time. Is there someone already? No, I said, too quickly. God, Mark, this isn't about someone specific. This is about us, about honoring who we are. My phone buzzed on the table. Brad's name flashed on the screen. Wide. I flipped it over. Mark saw it, didn't say anything. The silence stretched forever. Finally, fine. Fine? If that's what you need to be happy. His voice was hollow. But it goes both ways. I almost laughed. Mark? Dating? He can barely talk to the cashier at Trader Joe's without stumbling over his words. Of course, I said, trying to sound fair. That's only fair. We're equals in this. We shook hands. It felt transactional. Cold. That night, he slept on the couch. I texted Brad immediately. Drinks tomorrow. He responded in seconds. Hell yeah. I fell asleep, feeling victorious. Validated. I'd done it. The next day, I called Jen. Oh my God, I have to tell you something. What's up? She sounded cautious. Mark and I are opening our marriage. Silence. Long, uncomfortable silence. Hello? Sarah. What? We're doing ethical non-monogamy. It's actually so progressive. Kayla's been doing it, and it's amazing. And I just thought, did he want this? Well, I brought it up, but he agreed. Sarah. Her voice was serious. This is a terrible idea. I laughed. Why? Jealous? No, I'm serious. Mark is a good guy. He loves you. Why would you? Exactly. He loves me. So he'll be fine. This is just about exploring, not replacing. And you're just gonna date other people? We both can. That's the whole point. You really think Mark's gonna date? I laughed again. Please. Mark. He can barely talk to strangers. Good luck replacing me. Sarah? What? I'm being realistic. I know my husband. He'll probably just stay home and play video games while I go on a few dates. It'll be fine. I don't think you know him as well as you think you do. Trust me, I'll go on a few dates, get it out of my system, and everything will be fine. He's not going anywhere. And if it's not fine, then he can close it whenever he wants. But honestly, I think this is going to be good for us. It's 2025, babe. Monogamy is so outdated. Jen sighed. I really hope you know what you're doing. I do. I hung up feeling even more validated. Jen just didn't get it. She'd never been married. She didn't understand. What I didn't know was that the second we hung up, Jen texted Mark. Hey, Sarah told me about the open marriage thing. You okay? Mark responded an hour later. Not really, but what choice do I have? You always have a choice. She made it pretty clear she's doing this with or without my blessing. I'm sorry. For what it's worth, I think this is insane. You deserve better than this. Thanks. That actually means a lot. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. I appreciate that. I didn't know about any of this. I was too busy texting Brad about where we should meet for drinks. The first date with Brad was everything I'd imagined. We met at this upscale cocktail bar downtown. I wore my black dress, the one that always gets compliments, did my makeup for an hour, felt sexy, alive. Brad was already there when I arrived, leaning against the bar in a fitted button-down. He smiled when he saw me, that cocky smile that always made my stomach flip. You look incredible. Thanks. I slid onto the bar stool next to him. You clean up pretty well yourself. The conversation flowed. Work gossip, funny stories, flirting. He ordered us drinks, expensive ones, old fashions that were $18 each. 3 drinks in, his hand was on my lower back. 4 drinks in, we were definitely flirting. When the check came, $120, Brad patted his pockets. Oh shit, I think I left my wallet in the car. Can you grab this? I'll get the next one. I paid. Annoyed, but I hit it. Didn't want to ruin the vibe. We ended up at his place, a studio apartment that smelled like cologne and hadn't been cleaned in a week. We hooked up. It was fine, quick, efficient. Not exactly the mind-blowing experience I'd built up in my head. Afterward, he fell asleep almost immediately. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling strange. Not regret, exactly. Just empty. The next morning, he kissed me goodbye, said he'd text. I posted a cryptic Instagram story on my way home. Living my truth. Kayla commented immediately. Yes, queen. I got home around 2 a.m., expected Mark to be asleep. He was sitting on the couch in the dark, just sitting there. Hey, I said, trying to sound casual. You're still up? Where were you? Out. With a friend. What did you do? I felt defensive immediately. That's none of your business. That's literally the whole point of this arrangement. He nodded slowly, looked down at his hands. I dropped my purse on the counter. Too hard. It tipped over. A condom wrapper fell out. Landed on the floor between us. We both stared at it. The silence was suffocating. Mark stood up slowly. His voice was quiet. Broken. Sarah, please. Can you reconsider this? We can still stop, close this whole thing, go to therapy, work on us. Please. Something in his voice made my chest tight, but I pushed it down. Mark, just go away. Go to bed. This is what we agreed to. That's not what I agreed to. You know that. Well, it's too late now. He stood there for another moment, then walked to the bedroom without another word. I picked up the wrapper, threw it in the trash, poured myself a glass of wine, told myself I felt fine. Brad didn't text for 3 days. When he finally did, it was 11:17 p.m. Why'd? Booty call energy. I tried to make plans for dinner. He said he was busy. Maybe next week? A week later, my coworker showed me a screenshot of his Hinge profile. Active. Online now. Bio. Looking for fun, nothing serious. I messaged him, so where's this going? He responded an hour later. I thought we were just having fun. You're married, LOL. No pressure, right? I stared at the message. I'd blown up my marriage for a guy who thought I was a convenient hookup. Meanwhile, Mark was different. He started going to the gym every morning at 6 a.m. Something I'd nagged him about for years, and suddenly he was just doing it. He signed up for rock climbing at this place downtown, started posting photos on Instagram, something he almost never did. And then Jen reached out to him. Hey stranger, haven't seen you in forever. Want to grab coffee and catch up? They met at a cafe that Sunday. I didn't think anything of it. Jen was my friend. She was probably checking on him. What I didn't know was that they talked for 3 hours about art, music, travel, things I never wanted to discuss with him. Mark told her about the open marriage, how it wasn't his idea. I'm just trying to make the best of it, he said. Jen looked at him across the table. For what it's worth. Sarah doesn't know what she has. I've always thought you were really special. Mark looked at her differently then. Noticed the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was nervous, the way she actually listened when he talked. They hugged goodbye. It lasted a second too long. "Let's do this again," she asked. "Yeah, I'd really like that." I tried dating apps, set up a Hinge profile, used photos from my Instagram, cropped Mark out of the couple shots. Got matches immediately, felt good, validated. But the dates were awful. Guy number 1, investment banker who talked about his ex-wife for 2 solid hours. I was his therapist, apparently. Guy number 2, 32, still lived with his parents, asked to split a $40 check, then ghosted after. Guy number 3 seemed normal until dessert when he casually asked if Mark would be interested in a threesome. You know, since you're open. I blocked him immediately. Guy number 4, profile said 38, was clearly 45, mentioned midway through appetizers that he was technically married but separated. He wasn't. I started to feel cheap, used, disappointed. This wasn't the empowering freedom Kayla had promised. I still posted on social media, "Dating is actually so empowering. Living my best life." Kayla commented, "Yes, queen." But I cried in the shower after bad dates. A few weeks in, I saw it. Mark and Jen's Instagram story. Photo of them at a jazz concert. Her head tilted toward him, both smiling. Caption, "First jazz show, best company." She'd tagged him. My stomach dropped. I scrolled through the comments. "Oh, so cute. Love this for you both. Mark's sister. Finally seeing you happy." I texted Jen immediately. "Are you fucking kidding me?" It was 1:23 a.m. delivered. No response. I couldn't sleep, kept refreshing. The next morning, she called. "You texted me." Her voice was calm. "You're dating my husband." "You opened the marriage, Sarah." "Not with my best friend. Girl code." "You want to talk about codes? You've been throwing yourself at Brad for months while Mark took care of everything." "That's different." "How?" Because you're supposed to be my friend." "I was your friend, but Mark's a good man, and you didn't want him." "I do want him." "Then why'd you do this?" I had no answer. "I'm not going to apologize for being happy, Sarah." She hung up. I couldn't stop checking their social media. Mark's Instagram was suddenly active. Posts from hiking trips, brewery visits with friends, my friends, game night photos, every post, 100 plus likes. Comments from people I knew. "You two are adorable. Love seeing you so happy." My own posts were getting 23 likes, maybe 31. I posted a selfie, deleted it an hour later out of embarrassment. Jen posted a candid photo Mark took of her laughing. 156 likes. I saw them everywhere. At the farmer's market on Sunday, our old routine, Jen wearing Mark's hoodie in a photo. Mark looked different, lighter, happy. A genuine smile I hadn't seen in years. Videos of them dancing at someone's party. He was loose, laughing, free. I realized he was never boring. I just never brought this out in him. Brad's text came on a Monday. "Hey, this has been fun, but I think I'm going to focus on someone else, Aaron." "Seriously?" "No hard feelings, though. Stay hot." He blocked me. I found out later he was dating a 23-year-old intern. I was never special to him at all. My friends stopped inviting me to things. Group chats went quiet when I messaged. I saw Instagram stories of hangouts I wasn't invited to. My parents called. "Mark told us you're having problems. What's going on?" I couldn't explain without admitting fault. Family dinners got awkward. They asked about Mark. I changed the subject. Kayla stopped responding, busy with her own life. I was alone. One Friday night, I couldn't take it anymore. I checked Find My Friends, Mark's location, Jen's apartment, 9:30 p.m. I'd had 2 glasses of wine. I grabbed my keys. I knocked on Jen's door. Hard. She answered in joggers and Mark's hoodie, the one I used to steal. "Sarah, what are you—" I pushed past her. Mark was on the couch. Netflix paused. Wine glasses on the table. Thai takeout, cozy, domestic. "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" Mark stood. Sarah, what are you doing here? You're in her apartment at 9:30 at night. Jen crossed her arms. You opened the marriage. You literally told him to date other people. Not you. Not my best friend. I warned you this was a bad idea. Oh, so this is my fault? Yes. I told you Mark was a good guy and you laughed at me. You said he could never replace me. You said that. You said good luck replacing me. You were so fucking smug. My voice cracked. I didn't think you'd actually... What? Date him? Why not? You threw him away. I didn't throw him away. Then what do you call this? She gestured at everything. You're supposed to be my friend. We've known each other for 10 years. I was your friend. I tried to warn you multiple times. So you just swoop in the second I make a mistake? A mistake? Sarah, you systematically disrespected your husband for months. The flirting with Brad, the Instagram posts, the way you talked about him to our friends. I never... You called him boring, to his face, at my birthday dinner. You said Mark's idea of excitement is installing new software. Everyone laughed. He just sat there. I felt sick. I remembered. You took him for granted every single day. And now you're mad that someone actually appreciates him? Mark's voice cut through. Sarah, you need to go. Now. Mark, please. You made your choice. Now I'm making mine. But I love you. You loved having me. You loved the security, the rent being paid, someone to come home to. There's a difference. Jen stepped closer to Mark, not touching, but together. I saw it. They were a unit now. I will never forgive you for this, I said to Jen. I can live with that. You're a terrible friend. And you're a terrible wife. I left, slammed the door, sat in my car, watched their silhouettes in the window. Mark pulled Jen into a hug. I drove home crying. 8 weeks into the open marriage, Mark came home to grab more stuff. I'd prepared for this, showered, makeup, wore the dress he used to love. Can we talk before you pack? He looked wary. About? Us, the marriage, this arrangement. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. I think we should close the marriage. Why? Because this isn't working. We're falling apart. It's working fine for me. The words hit like a knife. How can you say that? I'm happy. Happier than I've been in years. I dropped the act. I was wrong, okay? I completely fucked up. I'm sorry. Okay. So, can we fix this? Go to therapy? Work on us? He shook his head. No. Why not? I'm apologizing. Because I don't want to. I'm happy now, Sarah. Really happy. With Jen, yes. With Jen. She makes me feel valued, like I matter. I can do that. I can change. You had 4 years. You didn't. Desperation hit. If you don't stop seeing her, I want a divorce. Okay, file the papers. I stared at him. You'd actually divorce me. You already divorced me, Sarah. You just didn't file the paperwork. We took vows. You broke them the second you started emotionally cheating with Brad. I never slept with him before. Emotional cheating is still cheating. I had no response. Mark stood. I'm moving the rest of my stuff out this weekend. Found a place near downtown. You're moving in with her? No, my own place. But Jen and I are getting serious. The room spun. This is really happening. Yeah. He started packing. Books, coffee maker, plants. I watched, paralyzed. At the door. I'll be back Saturday with movers. Please be out for a few hours. He left. I was alone. That night, I saw their Instagram. Joint post. Photo of them holding keys, smiling. Caption, new adventures. Comments flooded in. Congrats. So happy for you both. You deserve this, Mark. I threw my phone. The screen cracked. I screamed into a pillow until I was empty. Everything I'd taken for granted was gone. Saturday morning, moving day. Movers came at 9 a.m. I watched from the bedroom as they took Mark's life out of our apartment. Gaming setup, clothes, kitchen stuff, books, plants, the TV. The apartment echoed when they left. I sat in the silence, broken. That night, I called my mom, sobbing. Sarah? What happened? He left? He's really gone. Mark? He's with Jen now. It's over. Oh, honey. What happened? Pause. The open marriage? It wasn't really my idea, Mom. What? He wanted to see other people. I went along with it, because I didn't want to lose him. I heard the outrage, leaned into it. I didn't know what else to do. Mark pressured you? Why didn't you tell us? I was embarrassed. That bastard? I said nothing. Let the narrative settle. Over the next few days, I spread the story. Texted mutual friend Emma. Can we talk? I need to tell you what really happened. Coffee the next day. I crafted it carefully. Mark and Jen were emotionally involved before the open marriage. I only suggested it because I suspected something. I'm the victim of their affair. Emma was horrified. Everyone needs to know the truth. Monday, I Googled divorce lawyers. Booked a consultation. The lawyer asked about assets, the marriage, the situation. Whose idea was the open marriage? He pressured me. Said he needed freedom or he'd leave. She took notes. Any financial control? Coercion? I saw the angle. He controlled most of the finances, made me feel dependent. Go on. He paid most of the rent, held it over me. These things can help significantly in settlement negotiations. I saw the path. If I can't have him, I'll destroy him. That night, Mark's phone exploded, Sarah's mom. How dare you pressure her into that arrangement? Sarah's brother. You're dead to me. Emma. I can't believe you and Jen were sneaking around. His sister. What is going on? Sarah's mom called crying. His boss. Email. I received a concerning message about harassment concerns. We need to meet Monday morning. Mark called me immediately. What the fuck are you doing? What do you mean? The lies. Telling everyone I pressured you. My boss, Sarah. I'm just protecting myself. With lies? Is it? Or did you manipulate me so you could be with Jen guilt-free? You asked for this. That's not how everyone else is hearing it. I have screenshots, texts, proof. Good luck with that. I'm the heartbroken wife. You're the cheating husband. Who do you think people will believe? You're insane. No, I'm done being the victim. I hung up. Mark sat in his new apartment. Boxes everywhere. Phone buzzing. Jen texted, Your family's calling me a homewrecker. What's happening? Sarah's lying to everyone. What do we do? I don't know. Then he remembered. He's a software engineer. He lives in documentation. Opened his laptop. Created a folder. Marriage? Evidence. Started gathering everything. Holy. So that's the end of this story. What's your thoughts on all this, Ashley?
Honestly, at first I was almost sympathetic to Sarah, like the feeling stuck thing is real. That happens. But then it just kept going and I was like, "Girl, what are you doing?"
See, that's where it gets interesting, though. She genuinely convinced herself she was the one being held back. The whole time Mark was cooking dinner, paying bills, showing up, and she's reframing all of that as boring.
The gaming setup thing though, like, okay, he's got a massive monitor and an expensive chair and she's embarrassed by it. Girl, I wish I had a setup like that. And meanwhile, her shoe collection is 3 grand and he never says a word. That man is a saint.
And that's the pattern right there. Everything he does is invisible to her until it's gone.
But the open marriage thing, was she actually that bad for bringing it up? Like people genuinely explore that stuff?
Sure. But think about the timing. She's already emotionally checked out, already flirting with Brad, already Googling articles at 2 a.m. while Mark's asleep next to her. This wasn't curiosity. It was a permission slip she wrote for herself.
Oh, damn. Yeah, she basically wanted the receipt before she'd already spent it.
Right? And the best part? She genuinely thought Mark would just stay home and play video games while she lived her best life. She didn't even see him as someone capable of wanting more.
That's actually kind of messed up. Reminds me, I had a friend in college, dated this guy who was super quiet, and everyone kept saying, "Why are you with him?" but he was literally the one holding everything together. Nobody saw it until they broke up and she was lost.
Exactly that. And that's why it blew up in her face. The second someone actually paid attention to him, Jen, he became a completely different person. Not because he changed, because someone finally saw him.
Okay, the jazz concert post, though, like Mark posting on Instagram for the first time, and it's got more likes than anything Sarah's been posting for years. That's actually brutal. I'd be sick.
She didn't want to bring that version of him out. She wanted the stable version at home and the exciting version somewhere else. Mark just happened to find both in one person.
And then the lying to everyone at the end. That's when I was fully done with her.
That's the move that shows who she actually is. When she couldn't win the situation, she tried to rewrite it, but Mark, software engineer, remember? He documented everything. Timestamps, screenshots, recordings. She picked the wrong guy to lie about.
The marriage evidence folder, though. Like, that's so calculated. I'd be terrified if someone had a folder like that on me.
That's not calculated. That's someone who finally stopped absorbing hits and started protecting himself. 4 years late, but he got there.
Yeah. Sometimes the boring guy isn't boring. You just stopped looking.
Exactly. And if you made it this far, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.